Welcome to the first episode of Indie Pokemon Decks. So, first thing, if you're a longtime follower, you'll notice the name change. So I went with Indie. Why did I go with Indie? Well, again, as I spoke before, I don't really only do discount decks. Although this one's kind of discounty, depends on how you look at it. But that doesn't. I don't want my focus to be indie, and it's not really rogue. Although, yeah, it is. I do a lot of rogue decks. I do a lot of different decks, but I will go to the mainstream at times. Just off the top of my head, my Metagross deck, obviously Metagross. Big deck. A lot of people used it. There's a bunch of other decks that I've gone to, like Plume. Although later, after everyone's got bored with it, sometimes I go to it. But with like something like my Metagross deck, so my thinking is that I want to give you guys unique perspective. And so what happens is you get a deck comes out. A lot of people will do videos on it, and they'll be basically the same core, and they may just change some stuff around here and there. But my focus is more on outside of that. So, okay, so there's a core kind of Pokemon following Pokemon decks. These are the decks you play, and there's some people that are like, these are the only good decks to play, and I'm like, no. And that's what my channel is. I want to I want to expand around that. I want to do things that are outside of the mainstream, that are viable, that are winnable, that are strong, and come up with creative things. So even my Metagross deck, I used Mimikyu, which I had not seen up to that point anybody using it, and I don't really know how many people have used it since. But at that time, at that stage, that was an innovation that I liked, and I thought made the deck really strong. And it performed really well. So really, I was going with independent, and like so that because the reason why I didn't go with rogue, I know everybody understands in the game what the word rogue means, but if you look in the dictionary, rogue means thief, someone who steals, a charlatan, a fake, and I didn't like that, even though I understand colloquially. It means something different. If you say a rogue deck, you know what it means. It means something outside of the mainstream. But I didn't like that connotation, and I didn't want someone maybe who's non-English speaker look that up in the dictionary and is like, fake decks? Why would I want to do that? And so I was a little bit uncomfortable with that. So luckily, we have a language that has lots of different words that can mean the same thing. So my original thought was independent. I wanted something outside, and as I said before, I don't really follow a lot of the other channels and stuff. I'm like outsider arc. I'll see what I see in the game and then try to think about it, emulate it. I will watch a video here and there, but I don't really follow it as closely, and I like to do that so I have my own ideology, so I have my own way of looking at things, so I could present fresh things and come up with ideas. And sometimes I'll come up with an idea that was already presented, and I'll go to someone and be like, hey, has this been done before? And like, yeah, that's done. All right. But for the most part, even if I don't, the stuff that I do here is unique. It's of my own design. If someone else comes out with a video 2 days before, one of the big internet channels, hey, you know what? Great, we came to the same thing. Great minds think alike. And I'm sure my build is going to be different than other people's builds. And really what I want to present is independent ideas. So I liked independent Pokemon decks, and I even had like an American Revolution theme and all that. And my wife said, why not indie? And she's smart. you always got to find a smart partner in life. And that was perfect because, I am, not to date myself, but I am from the age of like the indie rock era. So indie is cool, kind of like this. I think of indie, I think of like DIY, do it yourself. And I'm gonna date myself. I'm gonna get into the weeds for a second, then I'm gonna get into this deck. But yeah, I kind of remember the days where if you wanted to see a band or something like that, you got like if you had it like my friends had bands or whatever, and you'd have to like take a piece of paper and draw what the band was and write it out and like where they're playing and like photocopy it 100 times, and then you'd go around like posting it everywhere. And that kind of like, I think there's something special in that kind of gritty can do it yourself, roll up your sleeves. There's something to that I think, you know, in today's world, like you have a band, all right, it's on, I'm putting it on Bandcamp, and you can download my stuff from there, and you know, check out my stuff on Facebook and wherever else. But I kind of like that old kind of do it yourself. There's something lost there. There was something creative. You know, even like in the old days of the internet when you had to make a web page, like you didn't just go on, just grab a CRM and just like, all right, I got WordPress and I put some plugins in, I'm grabbing a theme, and in 10 minutes I have a web page. You actually had to code it. And I remember, again, going into the weeds one last time, and then I will come out and I'll talk about this deck. I remember I ran a sports baseball league on my computer, and this was before they had stuff where you could like just generate HTML page, and like other people, everybody owned a team, so it was like a 30 team league or 28 teams maybe at the time, and other people owned a league and they would send me lineups or whatever, and I had to spit out the stats, so the program would do it in just kind of like this, you know, this just text format. And you know, I created a program that would, you know, put some HTML around it and upload it, and you even had to do like the design of the web page. And actually that was a American themed with stars and stripes and everything, and I had to kind of put that together and do it. And so, you know, there's kind of something special with that, and that's what the soul of indie Pokemon decks is trying to get to. Just that something different, something unique, almost like folk art, where it's like this is how we did things, and I'm going to look at things differently. And you know, there's the process stuff, and then there's the homemade stuff. And so, homemade, I could have gone with that. Anyway, so welcome to Indie Pokemon Decks. Today's deck is Honchrow Koko, maybe Spirit Tomb. I don't know. We don't really need to put that name. But today's it's the focal point is Raven's Claw. This attack does 10 damage plus 10 more for each damage counter on all your opponent's Pokemon. It's a spread deck. And what I mean by that is you get as much damage you can on all your opponent's Pokemon, and then you Raven Claw them. So I love this deck. This is great. I love spread decks in general, but this one is really cool thanks to one thing, and this card helps make this deck, Shrine of Punishment. And when this set first came out, I tried to get this card. I couldn't believe it's an uncommon, how expensive it was to get this card. I don't know if the price has dropped, and maybe I'll try to check it out before this video drops. But this card is totally worth it, whatever you paid. If you're out there making a discount deck, this card, with non-GX, this card, you need 2 to 4 of these. 3 is a good number, because 3 is a good number. Put 3 of these in any deck, and it's great. It works in any deck. I have a couple of decks, you know, with non-GX, and I put this in there, and it really helps out. It's so much fun. It's such a good card. It goes back. I forgot there was a similar card to this with only EX that it did, I think, damage, maybe just to Megas or something like that. But Shrine of Punishment, get that card. I don't care what it costs. Do it. Tapu Koko. So, you know, this is another expensive card. I don't know how expensive it is these days. I bought mine a while ago. If it's still expensive, the Shrine of Punishment. If you came here and you're like, I want a discount deck, and these 2 are out of your price range, I'm sorry. You should get them. You should really get them, because you can put, I mean, come on, Tapu Koko. You could put this in like every deck. Almost every. You can pair this with anything. You should get this card. It retreats for nothing. It's a good card to have. It's useful to have. And even if you have to drop the number for this deck, you could do this. But this is a nice, other than those 2 cards, inexpensive deck. I mean, you could look at Oranguru, like that's expensive too, but you know what? You should have some Oranguru. You should get some. You could make this deck without these, maybe for the time being. I think there's Meloetta that does some spread damage. There's a couple of cards that do, but this deck will work past rotation. So this is... if you're looking for a cheap deck that's going to last you a year and you've got a couple of packs, get these cards, make this deck. This deck is going to last. And let me tell you, people love GX cards, and this Shrine of Punishment is going to be in every deck. If you're a cheapo like me, you're going to want this card. So basically the idea is do damage with Koko and Shrine of Punishment, and then Honchrow comes and takes out the big boys. This is especially great against GX decks, anything you can take 2 prizes with. Obviously, against non-GX decks, this card is useless and it suffers a little bit, but it does fare well even against those. And really, if you're playing in a tournament or whatever, you're really expecting non-GX decks. I don't really think there's all that many out there. So this is great. This is perfect. The build I could probably work on a little bit. I've soured on this card. I thought this would be a great card. I'm really not thrilled with it. I thought it'd be a Bridget replacement. Maybe I'm not using it right or with the right deck, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what else there is to say about this deck. You have to see it in action. This is 19 ready. I don't see anything in here. I've looked over every card like 3 times. It's Sun and Moon ready. If there is something that isn't, please tell me. But this should all be ready to go. So that's one of my main things I'm trying to do is have decks that you will be able to use after the rotation. And this is one of them. And this is man, you're going to... I love this deck. I hope this first game comes out and I actually don't get like disconnected or something dumb like that. And you know what? I'm just to warn you, I did take my nap today. It's still hot in here. I didn't put the AC on, but I've got my water. I'm gonna take a little break after this. As soon as I go to get the game, I'm gonna drink a bunch of water. I should be hydrated. I should be mentally rested. I've got a new name. I'm psyched. Let's go. Game 1 for Indy. All right, here we go. Tails sometimes fails. Who knew? Let's see what we got here. Nope. We'll take Hercules Mulligan. So, water, eh? Am I seeing frogs? I better not see frogs. Oof, lots of frogs. What's going on? What am I going to see here? Alright, lots of Kokos and an Apricorn Maker. Alright. I'm not sure I like this hand all that much, but it's the one I've been given. My opponent gets an extra card and gets to go first. And yep, frogs and... Alright, I'm okay with this, I think, for once. Although decided these things, oh my goodness, I just want to punch someone. Alright, here we go. So, Apricorn Maker, let's get a Nest Ball, an Ultra Ball. Let's get, I almost want to, well, I won't be able to get rid of these 2 cards, but if I plan it right, I'll be able to get rid of almost all my cards. So let's get, I definitely need a Honchrow, a Murkrow, excuse me. And I want to hold this Field Blower. And an Oranguru, so I can draw. I did play a supporter here, so I'm not looking for this turn, I'm looking for the next turn. One cool little thing I saw is that you don't have to, if you have multiple Kokos, you don't have to put the energy on the active, because you can always retreat this guy and leave him out there to be beaten up a little bit. Oh, I'm holding on to that. I'm holding on to that. My thinking is, I'm going to see some GXs, I hope, right? So, some Glaceons, some... I don't know why you would play that with a full bench. Maybe to get it out of your hand, but you don't have a Rangaroo. There's the Floatstone. So I knew it would be coming sooner or later. Oh, there goes the end, though. So there goes my ability to play Field Blower, but... And also Shrine of Punishment. But you see, my opponent put a Stadium down. I would have lost it anyway. I've got it again. That's good. But I don't like playing the Stadium first. Who's he going to go after? Oranguru? Murkrow? Murkrow. Alright, alright. That makes sense. So my thinking is Shrine and... Well, let's see. Let's see some GXs, right? And my opponent played that to get it out of his hand... So it's not in his deck anymore when he redraws. That's why. For once, I want to see some more GXs. Ooh. Do I want to play Guzma here and just throw my opponent off a little bit. Let's see what Acrobike brings. Oh, double colorless? Yes, please. Yeah, I think I want to do that. Or should I save this for when I want to knock out something? I will save it. I'll play Lily now. Am I going to play the Stadium? Yeah, you know what? I have 3 of these. I'm guessing that's more than my opponent has. This one I'd like to chuck, but I do not have the ability yet, so let's retreat. Let's do 120 damage, and yes. So here's the cool thing. Remember I talk about how like GX one prize Pokemon, you want to get like 100, 120, 140. So going after Koko, and yep, thought that Stadium would go quickly. Almost want to save it, but oh, he's going after Honchrow. But you know I got another one on my bench, so no, a Rangaroo. I'm kind of okay with that. Do I want to knock out Remoraid? I feel like I want to knock out Remoraid and take away my opponent's ability to draw cards. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do it with the healthy Honchrow. Yep. Because all that damage is still there. Do I have let's look through my deck. 2 and 2. Alright, so I've got the full compilation. Spiritomb's there. I do have another Rangaroo here. How many Stadiums are here? I like to look at Stadiums. 2 more, okay. And Energy, 1 counter, 3. Okay, so one of the counters is prized. Maybe I'll get it now. Don't need it because I'm going to be up on prizes. Yes, 140. Yes. Only a single prize there. Good Acrobike. I'm so happy this card's back. I love this card, man. It was great back in the day. And you see I'm using the Primal Clash one. Oh, whoa! Whoa! Alright, let's go for a second game because that game ended quick. I did not expect that. But you know, again, you take out one of those supporting cards and my opponent maybe felt that... Yeah, I'll go first. Maybe felt that... And without draw, they were going to have a tough game. Oof. Alright, both of us are taking Hercules mulligans. Let's see what goes on here. Looks like... Yeah, I've got a Koko. Alright. Mad Cargo. Ooh, Enhanced Hammer. I don't like to see that. And Weakness Policy. Acerola. Alright. Well, try to figure out what my opponent's got here. They get to see that I have Honchrow. So they're going to know that I have a spread deck here. They're going to be targeting those guys. If they're smart. No reason to doubt that. My opponent looking through my cards. Probably the same as I look through theirs. I do not like to see that Enhanced Hammer. Alright. So this is going to be one of those, I think, Zoroark... everything deck. Oh, I do not like to see that. Where are my Pokemon? It's going to be the... they're going to try to knock me out in one shot. 110. Yeah, they'd have to do a full bench. Oh, they can't... he can't evolve this first turn. Well, unless he's got... Wally? Is he still... Is he still in the standard? I think so, but... Yeah. This is a tough deck to play against because, like, your opponent has every option, basically, between Mad Cargo and Zoroark. Ugh. I know I'm one to talk because I play with hammers all the time, but... And there's not much you can do against them. Like, playing Judge doesn't work because they're just going to get whatever card they need, so... Alright, we got some cards here. Not the cards I want. Let me hold off. I'm definitely going to play a Rangaroo. Let's see. Can I get a Honchrow in my hand? Yeah, see, this is why I held it. So in case I got an Ultra Ball. Now, what do I do? Do I chuck Lily or do I chuck Guzma? Because I'm keeping that energy. See, he's going to use Acerola to get these out there. I'm actually going to keep the Guzma. I know it sounds crazy, but I feel safer that way. And I know I have the Pal Pad, but you know, I'd rather have it when I need it. And I feel okay with the Rangaroo. Oh, good. Love this card. I'm okay with that, because I have a feeling my opponent's going to be trying to pick me off the bench here. And let's do 100 damage. Again, if you're keeping track, it's good. It's hard later on in the game. It's almost impossible. But I know right now, if I have to do 100 damage... there we go. So now my opponent's gonna figure out how to destroy me. Probably first thing I want to do is get the Magcargo going. Yep. And see, you could put stuff like Weakness Policy and stuff like that in your deck, because you can always chuck it with the Zoroark's trade abilities. So yeah, there's Ultra Ball. Yep, they don't need that. Magcargo. No, Tapu Lele. Yep, alright. And really, they can get whatever they want. If they need a Field Blower, they'll get a Field Blower. You're going to see, it's going to be a tough game for me. Oh, Guzma, right away. Going on my, or going for the, wow, if they go for the Oranguru, I'm done. That would be like the, let's see. No, no, what a mistake. I should have kept the Lily. Oh, no. No, what was I thinking? Wow, that was devastating. It's the same thing I just did to my opponent. Wow, so, well, I can get another one back, and I'm going to. If I have one in my deck, and I do. Wow, that's why I have 3 of these in here. Oh, very good, Mr. Opponent. Magma King. All hail the king. Let's see what happens here. Alright, so I'm going to do that, because I don't want to lose that yet. Again, I think I said this before, but always a little jittery with these. Wow, I can't knock him out now, but I'm going to get close, I think. And I'm not going to use this Ultra Ball. I'm going to use it next turn, because he may target this guy, so I'm going to be able to knock out one of his Pokemon here easily. So even if he targets this guy, I've got Double Colorless and the Ultra Ball, so I'm not too worried. Again, I don't really see a use for this card, at least in this deck. There's going to be some decks, I think, that maybe this is good for, but it's not like a Bridget replacement. So let's see what my opponent does. He's smart. He'll knock out this energy and kill off a Murkrow. So puzzle of time here. Guzma, yep. If he goes for a Rangaroo, I'm honestly okay with that. Yep, here comes Magcargo. Almost certainly. And now he can just basically pick and choose his cards as he goes. I'm glad to see Puzzle of Time go. It's a smart addition to this deck. Alright, Guzma's gone. Interesting. Field Blower? Oh, yeah. I told you, they're going to be getting rid of that stadium, because that is deadly. But I have, look, there's 50, 50, 50, 100, 150, 180, and 80, 260. Yes. No, I didn't want to see end, but I'm okay. I'm going to get 6 cards, so almost certainly I should be able to get something that Helps me, or not. Holy cow, I just totally whiffed. Yeah. Oh boy. I shouldn't have put this guy down. Nope, I got it. Okay. And I can use a counter energy here. And I am going to use Shrine of Punishment again. And I'm not going to use, I'm not going to use Pal Pad. That's why I try to save those Guzmas if I can. We will use Honchrow. We're going to knock out this guy. Yay. Hooray for me. And we're going to tie up the game at 4, though my opponent, I feel, still has an advantage. But with this deck, you're always playing a little bit behind until you're not. I don't need the energy, actually. Let me go with the Oranguru. I'm just going to hold it here, too. I'm not even going to play it. There's no point. So, here we go. Lots of damage. 270. It's great. With this deck, sometimes you'll see some outrageously big numbers there, like 500. It's really cool. And now we're going to go bing, 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 bing. Another 40 damage across. So, again, I have another ability to one-shot another of his Pokemon. So, actually, I may start feeling like the advantage is coming towards me and my opponent thinking what to do. I mean, the energy removal... Oh, wow! Holy cow! Well, we just started off indie Pokemon decks with a bang. Wow, 2 just outright quits. Just totally conceded. And, you know, as I was just saying, like, I was trying to figure out, am I in the lead? Well, they'll probably knock out my next Honchrow. I'll knock out... But, yeah, I had so much damage on their bench. There was no way they were going to be able to, I think, dig out of that. I was going to probably get 2 prizes on each of the turns. Granted, I probably would have been fighting to get that last Honchrow out. But whatever they put out, I would have been winning 3-2 after that. And really, I was just going to need one more knockout. So my opponent decided to call it quits. And you could see why I'm so excited about this deck and why I'm telling you to get Shrine of Punishment, to get Tapu Koko, and just you're going to be able to pair this with anything, and literally anything that's not a GX. You put these in there, and you're going to be, at least this card, you're going to just really hurt your opponent. And yeah, I'm so thrilled. I didn't think I didn't think, you know, I think with both games, you know, my opponent still had a chance. Obviously, the first one was real early, but that second game, I mean, that probably would have gone down to the wire. They could have maybe crippled my energy, or Guzma and not allowed another Honchrow to evolve. But yeah, you can see, man, this is, if you're looking for a spread deck, if you're looking for a deck for that's going to survive the standard switch, this is it, man. I really like this deck. I'm very excited, and thanks for watching. And we'll be back with more next time.